it is that news season every day, multiple times a day for the next couple weeks at least. Probably you'll be getting news almost every single day, which is
Yeah.
exciting times. Yeah, right. You told me, I just double checked. Davante Adams 2-year deal to the Rams. So how you feeling about that?
I don't know. It's kind of
Not excited.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously they think Davante Adams is better than Cooper Kupp, so and he probably is. I don't know. Remember how
yeah,
Kupp was?
it's kind of weird.
Remember how Kupp was in motion all the time?
Yeah,
I don't know if I see that from Davante Adams. So I don't know.
yeah, it is kind of interesting. Like, what is Cup's? What is his salary? Cap hits 29. No, yeah, 29 million. I mean, geez, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one for sure. With Davante Adams, but like I said, I was just looking at the numbers that he had with the Rams, or sorry, with the Jets, and in 11 games he was averaging 78 yards a game. He had 7 touchdowns, so that's a 1,300-yard pace over 17 games. 7 touchdowns in 11 games, so that would be a double-digit touchdown. That would be 1,300 yards and double-digit touchdowns. So hard to argue that, I guess, but I don't know. It is
once you put it,
interesting.
Once you throw some numbers on it, I guess. Sometimes watching it just didn't look as good as the past or something like that. So I don't know. Bunch of shit was going on with the Jets. Rodgers is not Rodgers. The offensive line kind of stunk, and the team is dysfunctional. So
yeah, sorry, my mic. You keep cutting out, but it's I think like the failed expectations of the Jets makes us, it makes us think, oh, they all must have sucked. But then you actually start looking at the numbers, you're like, oh, actually pretty good. Aaron Rodgers threw for 28 touchdowns and what was it, 28 and 11 and over almost 3,900 yards. Garrett Wilson caught a bunch of passes, and Davante Adams, we just told you his 17-game pace with the Jets.
It's like, why didn't they win more though? I mean,
I know.
Just that tells you when you see stuff like that, it kind of tells you, it is pretty hard. I think more teams lose games than they screw up and they lose games. There are certain points in the game, mistakes, turnovers, false start penalties. It's just some of those things are drive killers and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Did something good today. Recommended. Cool.
Yeah, welcome. Glad you are here with us. We are doing a rookie mock draft, so if you want to get into that, we'll probably do one, maybe two, depending on how many people we have. But if you guys want to get into that, there's the link to it. I just sent it out. We are using landing spots. Sorry if my audio is a little off. My mic keeps kind of disconnecting and connecting, so I'm going to leave it off for a second here. We are using some landing spots here. And here they are. This is a 7-round mock draft, according to Pro Football Network. Pretty tough to do a 7 7-round mock draft. But let's go through some of the landing spots. We're not going to go through all 7 rounds. You can kind of check that out. If however you can look at rounds 5 through 7, but we'll kind of look at some rounds 1 through 4 and kind of see where the world we're playing in here, and if the NFL draft went this way, how does it affect everything? Yeah, how does it affect it? So here they are. We'll go through some of these as we're waiting for some more people to maybe join us. hopefully we get a full one. Last Sunday we had a record over 40 people watching. You know, I think people were excited, combine and stuff like that, and that kind of got a bunch of people in here. But let's see here. Did we get another update? Oh no, we got. Okay, never mind. So here we go. We got Cam Ward as the 101 to the Giants. Giants trade up and take Cam Ward, which is kind of, you're starting to hear rumors about that potentially happening. And then Shador Sanders, number 2 overall. So QBs go 1 and 2 back to back there. Travis Hunter is a Titan. Tyler Warren is a Jet. And Ted McMillan is a Saint. So we have 5 fantasy relevant positions in the top 10 picks. No, sorry, 6. Because Ashton Genty is a Bear, and which I think not enough people talk about that. I know you see him drafted to the Cowboys just all the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Johnson, coming from the Lions, seeing what Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery did for that offense, they kind of have a lot of other pieces in place for the Bears. You know, they have the quarterback, they have the receivers, they have a tight end. They've just traded and brought in a couple guards. So
I don't know why you wouldn't go to the Raiders at 6.
That's another possibility. Yeah. I think in this draft you had like a guy like some of the top defensive guys fall. Matthew Golden is the 2nd wide receiver, or 3rd if you count Travis Hunter, to the Cowboys, 12th overall. Colston Loveland's a Bronco. Luther Burden falls out of the 1st round. He goes to the Giants, second pick of the 2nd round. Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe back to back almost. Titans for Jackson Dart. Jalen Milroe is a Raider. Mecca Ibuka is a Bear. Omarion Hampton is a Raider. So maybe that's why they don't take Genty. Yeah. Jalen Knoll is a Seahawk. This is probably the highest I've seen Jalen Knoll out of Iowa State, spelt Noel, pronounced Knoll. Probably the highest I've ever seen him go. So that's interesting because I think he's a very intriguing player. Quinshawn Judkins is a Bronco. Alec Iomanner is a Steeler. Mason Taylor is a Charger, the tight end out of LSU. Jaden Higgins, the other Iowa State receiver, is a Panther. Isaiah Bond made it into the 2nd round, which is interesting, is a Commander. Trey Harris is a Chief, and Travion Harris is a Chief. Travion Henderson is a Chief as well. So we have Trey Harris going 63rd overall, and then Travion Henderson going 66th overall to the Chiefs. We have Jalen Royals to the Raiders. Xavier Restrepo is a Panther. Jack Besh is a Texan. Caleb Johnson is a Cowboy. Falls into the 3rd round, but goes to the Cowboys, which is obviously a great spot for a running back. Gunnar Helm is a Colt. Terrence Ferguson is a Seahawk. Tej Johnson is a Jag. Ty Felton is a Raider. Harold Fannin Jr. is a Saint. Cam Scadaboo is a Brown. He's the last pick of the 3rd round for fantasy guys. Some 4th round picks. We have Torrey Horton out of Colorado State to the Patriots. Elijah Arroyo is a Jag. Savion Williams is a Dolphin. Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech is I put Virginia Tech. Where did Jalen Lane go? Jalen Lane is a, why can't I find him? He is a Titan. He's a Tennessee Titan. Ollie Gordon's a Steeler. DJ Giddens, running back out of Kansas State, is a running back. Nick Nash is a Ram. Oronde Gadsden the 2nd is an Eagle. Will Howard is a Saint. Kyle Williams is a Bill, and Montrell Johnson is a 49er. Again, it is a 7-round mock draft, so if you want to see all those other picks, you can kind of hop on there. But any of those landing spots kind of shock you, excite you?
Hampton going in the 2nd round is a little maybe it's not. Yeah, early in the 2nd round, I guess. So, and we talked about that. There's enough running backs where teams may think they can wait.
Yeah.
Address their needs.
No, absolutely. I think he's going to be a 1st round pick. I think Hampton's going to be a 1st round pick. I think he's as I change my microphone. I think he's going to sneak into the 1st round. So, by sneak, I mean I don't think. I think he could go pretty high. So, But yeah, if you are watching and want to join here, we still have open spots. We have the 1 spot, the 6 spot, the 9, 10, 11, 12 spot. So if we can get a couple more people in, that's great. If not, we'll start it up. We'll say at 5:15 my time. That's 4:15 West Coast time, 7:15 East Coast time. 3 minutes. We're going to start this bad boy up in 3 minutes, whether we fill the draft or not. So join it if you are interested in getting some rookie mocks in. Obviously, hit that like button for us if you're watching. There's my mic. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we will for sure get them for you. Any trade questions, rookie questions, any of that good stuff. So we will be starting here in 2 minutes. So yeah, what was the other news we had today? There was something, I know Myles Garrett. I thought there was something else as well.
There's defensive players signing, Chiefs keeping some of their own, like they're one of their linebackers. And
I thought there was another offensive thing either last night or
let me look on.
We already talked about Geno.
Aaron Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right. Aaron Jones signing.
Yeah,
I think that's good. Good for the Vikings. Good for Aaron Jones. That's probably the best spot for him to be in.
He had a pretty decent year last year.
He did.
I thought he was like about 800 yards or something. It was like, no, he's like 1,100 and some odd yards.
He had over almost 1,550 total yards.
That's pretty good when you're above the 30 line for age in an NFL running back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for him to go back there. And
I don't remember this much action before the actual free agent period.
Yeah, no kidding.
A lot of guys who were cut early. I think teams are cutting guys early to give them a chance to be free agents right away, and then teams keeping their own players. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. I think they're doing that more and more. By the way, we're going to be starting up in 1 minute, guys. We're going to start this mock draft up in 1 minute. We still have 4 spots open if anyone wants to join. We have the 1 spot, the 10 spot, the 11 spot, and the 12 spot. So we're going to be starting it up in just 1 minute here. But yeah, I think a lot of teams, they're talking about the lack of franchise tags being used. And basically, like, teams are just smarter these days as we have the 9 through 12 open. Teams are just smarter these days in keeping their own guys, signing them a little bit earlier so that you get them for a good price. Baseball has always been good at that. Like, I know baseball is obviously different, but like, you sign guys like, okay, let me pay this guy what seems like an overpay right now, but if he hits, I'm going to have him for like an incredible value and bargain. So One Pride here, we'll get to this and then we will start. He said he traded the 101 in a league I care a lot about because I didn't have the 101 anywhere and planned to take Genty. Is there a nightmare scenario where I regret the pick or your trade where you regret the trade? No, I mean, you're getting Ashton Genty, so I don't know what you traded to get him, but if you play in any type of shallow leagues, you're getting an absolute stud here. So I'm going to start this up, guys, and we can continue to talk about that. So it is a 12-team Superflex PPR 1-point tight end premium league. So keep that in mind. And we're going to be doing 4 rounds here. So let's get started.
Minute and a half.
Yeah, I'll probably change it to a minute and a half, actually, just so we have a little bit more time to talk as well. So yeah, no, I don't think it depends on what you traded. So you traded the 104 and Kyron in the 10-team league. Yeah, I mean, some people can definitely see that as an overpay. But at the same time, like if Genty is who we think he's going to be, he's going to be an untouchable piece. And people are always going to be a little hesitant on Kyron until he gets that contract, So as we see Ashton Genty and Tet McMillan off the board, which is pretty not standard, but you see that happen a lot. Those two players being the first two. Yeah, Paul, we saw it. We were just talking about that at the beginning. Davante, what do you think about that, Paul? Are you excited for? Obviously, it's good for Stafford. I'm not too worried about Puka. What do you think about Davante next year? You think it's going to be? Is he going to be like a wide receiver 2? Is he going to be even better than that? Because like Cooper Kupp was before his like atrocious fantasy playoff run where he like would just like lost people their playoffs. He was like the wide receiver 7 in points per game last year. Like he was still good. Did you see Omarion Hampton go, who by the way goes to the Raiders? So I'm on the clock here. I would probably, I'm going to take Cam Ward, quarterback, super flex league. I like the Giants landing spot. You get Malik Neighbors, you get, Tyrone Tracy. Wandale is a solid, probably 2/3 guy, 2A or 3 wide receiver. You got Theo Johnson, and then whoever else they take. We see Matthew Golden off the board. Matthew Golden goes 12th overall to the Cowboys. Gone are the days. I've been doing these mock drafts since early January. Gone are the days when you can get Matthew Golden in the second round. Because that's where I was getting him. I was getting him in the second round in a lot of these mock drafts, and now he's first. I've seen him go first half of the first round now a lot. So obviously the landing spot comes into play. The running a 4.29 at the combine comes into play as well. So I know you're a little bit lower on Golden right there, right, Dad? But how do you feel about it to the Cowboys?
I need to figure it out though. So I just I know he played very well at the end of the year for Texas and into the college football playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you looked awesome.
Yeah.
As TreVeyon Henderson goes, I'll let you think about your pick there. Oh, you already got it.
I already know.
TreVeyon Henderson, by the way, going 66 overall to the Chiefs, definitely will go pretty high. I heard someone talk about like they're going to take the approach of like for these running backs, not so much when they go, but where they go, because there's so many of them, and that might push guys into the 3rd, 4th round that in normal draft years would be 2nd round picks, and it's more about where they go than when they go. So I thought that was interesting. Tyler Warren in a tight end premium league is good there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about that. That there's a handful of teams that need running backs, and they would fit very well. Pittsburgh, the Chargers. We can even throw the Chiefs. There's a couple other teams. Cleveland Browns gonna, they're moving on from Nick Chubb, and there's some other teams who like to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if these guys like TreVeyon Henderson, and by the way, he catches the ball very well. He caught a lot of passes in college, so he'll fit into the Chiefs pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think Andy Reid will be able to use him very, very well. So
of course I said the same thing for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and actually drafted him in the 1st round and got screwed. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a case of the landing spot swaying us a little bit. So
yeah.
As we see, Quinshon Judkins, Austin Loveland, Caleb Johnson, Luther Burden off the board there. And then Travis Hunter, who goes 3rd to the Titans. Emeka Egbuka, who fell a little bit, but he went to the Bears. That's I don't know. You get Emeka Egbuka on the Bears, like, damn, that's good, great for Caleb. But now you got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and then Emeka Egbuka. It's gonna be interesting how all that works out.
Plus Cole Kmet.
And Cole Kmet, the running backs, of course. It's interesting. Isaiah Bond off the board. Isaiah Bond goes to the Commanders, second overall. 61st overall in the second round. As Paul says, he thinks Adams will be okay, not expecting much. Yeah, if he's healthy, I could see him having a good year. I can definitely see him having a good, usable year. So I'm probably just going to take quarterbacks here. I'm going to go with. It's interesting. Do I go with Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe? Jackson Dart probably has a way better chance to start in 2025. Jalen, because he's going to the Titans. Jalen
Jalen's
Milroe,
got a little bit of a bigger upside, maybe, you know.
but he gets drafted to the Raiders in this mock, 37th overall. So I'm just going to go Jackson Dart because I think I can sell him earlier if I really wanted to. Whereas Milroe, unless Geno is just kind of tanks, probably not going to start. Although we said the same thing about Penix, and look at what happened there. So, but yeah, Superflex, we're kind of taking the approach so far of take the quarterbacks in Superflex at a certain extent. You don't want them falling too far. So, by the way, we did just hit 1,160 subscribers. So, as you remember from yesterday, we were trying to get to 1150. Now we're at 1160. Getting closer and closer to 1,200. If you have not subscribed and you're watching, hit that subscribe button for us. If you are not in our Discord, you should get in it because we do a lot of stuff in there. Trade questions. We do team reviews. We're gonna do a NCAA tournament, and that will potentially, you can win some. We're gonna give out some free team reviews there. So join our Discord, and we're also doing real money leagues. We have 2 filled up. We might need some reserves just in case, but we'll also start looking at a third one there. And yeah, you can kind of get in line there. So join our Discord there as PS Mags is on the clock here. We'll see which way he's going to go. He's running out of time, and he picks Trey Harris, who also goes to the Chiefs, 63rd overall. So Trey Harris is an interesting one. I'm probably not going to have him in a lot of drafts just because I think people are very high on him. Some people think he should be a first-round pick, especially if he goes day 2 in the NFL draft. I kind of don't agree with that, but I definitely see the upside there. Did we get another? No. Okay. I was looking at. I'm just on. Every time I hear my phone go off, I think it's some kind of news, NFL news, happening. So I guess that would be tomorrow. Is there official time when it starts tomorrow?
9 Eastern. So
9 a.m. or p.m.
9 a.m. Eastern. Wait a second. No. 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. West Coast time. So I was just looking at my TV guide, and the NFL Network all day is just, and including ESPN. If you watch them, they have a lot of stuff going on. So
yeah,
I know most everybody probably works and stuff like that.
Yeah, everyone's connected to Sleeper app, and and you can podcast and live shows and all that fun stuff. So yeah, we'll probably have to go live maybe early in the week next week to kind of go over all of that. By the way, if we want to do a second rookie mock draft, we'll be open to that, but we do need to get to 10 likes on this video to do a second rookie mock draft. If we get there, we will happily do a second rookie mock draft, and hopefully we can fill that one out as you taking Alec Iomanner is off the board.
I like the player. I don't necessarily like where he's going to.
Where do you get drafted?
Steelers, second round.
Yeah, I mean, you have Pickens, but Pickens is not this big white, target hog type of player. So
yeah,
as we see Scattaboo off the board, he goes to the Browns. I'm going to take a guy that probably shouldn't have fallen this far, in my opinion. DJ Giddens, I'm really excited about, unless he got drafted. He did not. He goes to the Chargers. It's in the 4th round, but again, if you're taking the approach of, for these running backs, it's where they go, not when they go, because there's so many good ones. and just by nature they're going to get pushed down. DJ Giddens to the Chargers. You can't really ask for a much better spot there. So I'll take DJ Giddens.
I'm not sure the Chargers really have a running back right now. So
they under contract, all they have is Hassan Haskins and Jarrett Patterson, I believe, are the only two guys.
Work, so
yeah. I mean, they could bring back Dobbins. They're letting go of Gus Edwards. I will also take Mason Taylor, who went to the Chargers. Tight end premium.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It'll be very good. And then I'll take the Iowa State guys. Jalen Noel goes 50. He gets top 50 draft capital. Goes to the Steelers. If they trade Metcalf, there's an opening there. And then Jaden Higgins goes to the Panthers. Is he just another wide receiver too? Feels like there's a lot of wide receiver two there. I probably should have taken Milrow. I kind of forgot I didn't take him as Sniper takes him. And Sniper, yeah. I mean, I was debating taking him at the 204. I'm drafting for teams 9 through 12, and I just totally passed up on him. So I think I already marked off that I took him, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Once again, if we hit 10 likes on the video, we'll do another Dynasty rookie mock draft. 10 likes is not too much to ask for. We got 17 people watching, so if my math is mathing, I think we can get there. So let's see where we're at. We're at six likes, so just 4 more likes to go. And I'm gonna hop on and hit the like button for it, and I'll contribute. As we see Harold Fannin Jr. get taken, and Terrence Ferguson, who had a really good combine, was probably the best tight end at the combine, and he was kind of like that next level of guy there, Terrence Ferguson. Kind of after, obviously Warren, Loveland, Arroyo, Mason Taylor. Those are kind of seem to be solidified in the top 5, and then it's a little up in the air, like who's next? Is it Fannin? Is it Ferguson? Is it Gunnar Helm? So Ferguson might have potentially separated himself there.
Man, Gunnar Helm ran like he had a load in his pants there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, dude, you're a tight end, and he was over 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's bad, over 5 seconds. Ollie Gordon, I take here. He went to the Steelers in the 4th round. I'm not the biggest Ollie Gordon fan. He kind of like Trey Harris. I'm not going to have a lot of Ollie Gordon on my teams just because there's people that think Ollie Gordon should be a 1st-round pick in Dynasty rookie drafts.
Yeah, he was kind of projected early in the season, as one of the big running backs, and he kind of faded a little bit during the year. I don't know the reason, but
yeah, it could be the offense. He's a little bit slower. He feels like just him going to the Steelers feels a little Najee Harris, like slower running back who, just can't really break away. As we see Damian Martinez, who, I don't even know where he went. He goes to the Giants. Interesting. Goes to the Giants, 155th overall. Dylan Sampson, who I'm a big fan of. Where'd he go in this draft? He goes to the Packers. So maybe he can be their RB2 there next year. And then Devin Neal, who a lot of people love Devin Neal. I'm not the biggest Devin Neal guy. I think he's a good running back. I just don't think he's special anywhere. He falls all the way to the 241st pick, which is in the round 7. So we still have some players that were taken round 3 and stuff like that, which I'm going to start scooping up in right here. So we got Xavier Restrepo, who was taken by the Panthers as well in 74th overall. Jack Besh, who I'm intrigued by, kind of tore up the Senior Bowl and stuff like that. He goes to the Texans, so that's an interesting spot for him. Ty Felton, I need to. No, yeah, we'll go Ty Felton. He goes to going to the Raiders in the 3rd round. And then I'm going to take my boy Savion Williams, who goes to the Dolphins. Savion Williams, who goes to the Dolphins. Again, please use him like Cordero Patterson. whatever team takes him. This team is the Dolphins. As we're back to the 401, coming to the last round of this rookie draft. Once again, we will start up another one if we hit 10 likes. That's it, just 10 likes on the video. Let's see where we're at with that. We have 8. So if we get 2 more likes, we'll do another Dynasty rookie mock draft with you guys. Yeah, Sean, running back is incredibly deep, which is why, again, I forget who I heard say it. I want to give credit when I, quote people and stuff. Not really a quote, but they just basically said, hey, for these running backs, from day 2, maybe round 3 onwards, it's, again, I'll repeat myself. It's not so much when they go, it's where they go. So you can reach for a 4th round running back over an early 3rd round guy if you like the landing spot a lot more. As we see Bashal Tutin, RJ Harvey, again, just more depth here, more depth for these running backs. Bashal Tutin goes to the Texans. RJ Harvey goes to the Ravens. So some interesting picks there. Torrey Horton, who I'm very intrigued by Torrey Horton. He destroyed Colorado last year in 2023. Got injured this year. He's an intriguing one. I think he ran pretty well at the combine. So let's go with Elijah Arroyo. Oh no, he was taken. Okay, good. So I'd say I don't think he should fall this far, but he was taken. He was taken there. We'll go with another tight end, the slow guy, Gunnar Helm. Did he really run over a 5?
Yes.
Jesus.
I think it was.
Gunnar Helm, 40.
We just had some more breaking news.
4.84. Oh, God. What is it?
Okay.
Announce it. Okay. Jeez. Josh Allen gets paid.
Josh Allen is collecting.
Do you think they'll ever do a separate salary cap for just quarterbacks?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the advantage is or whatever, I guess. So I don't know.
I mean, these quarterback contracts and the nature of quarterback, which is stupid in general, to say oh, whoever's up next has to get paid the most. It's really? Does Brock Purdy really need to be paid $50 million a year? It's just kind of a dumb thing. It's a dumb way to do it, but that's how it is.
Yeah, they say, that guy got it. How come I didn't? And that stuff, and Brock Purdy will say, I took team to the Super Bowl or I've been to the AFC or the NFC championship game. So, I don't know.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl. You are on the clock there. Still got some players in the first 4 rounds that haven't been drafted. Woody Marks. So off the board there. Dude has some insane receiving numbers in college. So, yeah, 4.84 for Gunnar Helm. So not necessarily a 5. I was like, damn, 5 is offensive line.
He didn't look really good. Yeah. He just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know. I mean, speed is great, but some guys, they just know how to get open and all sorts of stuff and using leverage in your body and moves and all that stuff.
A lot of guys that aren't in the database that were taken here, but I think I'm going to take a couple players here that are going to be placeholders. So Montrell Johnson, who's a running back, was drafted by the 49ers, and they seemingly always draft a running back in the 3rd or 4th round. So that's who that is. That's who that pick is there. Jalen Lane is also not in the database. He goes to the Titans in the 4th round. I'll go ahead and grab him. Oronde Gadsden's an interesting player. He's a hybrid wide receiver slash tight end. So I don't know where he's going to play, but Saints, they could use a spot. And then we'll just go ahead and take Will Howard here to finish it off. So let's see if we hit our goal of 10 likes so we can run another one here. And we'll see if we get some more people to join us in this next one. So if you want to join us in our next one, if we're going to start it here, let's see where we are with it. We are at, okay, we hit 10 likes. So we got to keep our promise. Yeah, I'm going to put the link here.
I need to
take
check
off.
out.
All right, I'm going to do it solo with these guys then. So
Okay.
We'll see ya. I'm putting the link here in the chat. So join the next rookie mock draft here, because I need to take my spot. Join our next rookie mock draft here. If you are so inclined on joining, if we get, hopefully we can fill up about half of this. I think I sent out the right one here. I think that's the one. So go ahead and join if you want to join the next rookie mock draft. We're doing a 12 team. It will be a super flex, rookies only. Let me fix these roster spots here. We'll do 4 rounds once again. And join our rookie mock draft. Again, we are doing landing spots. This is a 7-round mock draft from Pro Football Network. If you want to check that out, link is in the chat there. So give it a few minutes, let you guys go and join if you are so inclined to do so. And yeah, so again, we're using some landing spots. We got Cam Ward is a Giant. He's the first overall pick. Actually, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders go back to back. They're the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. Travis Hunter is a Titan. Tyler Warren's a Jet. Ted McMillan is a Saint. Ashton Genty's a Bear. Matthew Golden's a Cowboy, 12th overall. Colston Loveland is a Bronco. Luther Burden is a Giants. Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe go in the 2nd round. Dart is a Titan. Milroe is a Raider, which is interesting. I could see the Seahawks definitely doing something like that, where even though they just brought in Geno, like still drafting a quarterback in the 2nd round, just to kind of potentially build towards the future a little bit. Use Geno as a placeholder for a couple years, especially a guy like Jalen Milroe, right? So a guy like Jalen Milroe could potentially need a couple of years to get started. But once again, guys, we're going to start this up in just a few minutes. If you want to join this rookie mock draft, link is right there. Pretty easy. Just click on it and join, draft with us. Take about 25 minutes or so. So if you have some time, go ahead and join us, as we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more spots open. 6 spots open. Would like to fill it up at least a couple more there. A couple more spots if possible. And we'll give it just a few more minutes. So let me know what your guys' predictions are. Any predictions for free agency? It's a weaker free agency class. And it's gonna be interesting. I think the quarterbacks are intriguing. There's no like stud quarterback, obviously, because they don't really get to free agency like elite quarterbacks, right? But there's a lot of interesting veteran quarterbacks that could be that could definitely be that could definitely have an impact on some teams here. So but yeah, we're going to start this up in just a few minutes. So if you guys want to join, we got 6 spots open. 6 spots open here, and then we're going to get started. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about free agency, and putting out a deep Dynasty stash video tomorrow morning probably. So it's kind of some stashes that you can do pre-free agency. This is pretty deep stuff. It's like, it's not going to be, Jordan Whittington, because I assume in whatever dynasty leagues you play in, Jordan Whittington's already rostered. So this is going to be a little bit of a deeper one, deeper dive into some rosters. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to start this up in just a few more minutes. So if anyone else wants to join this rookie draft, we have some spots open. And this one, we're going to do a 12 team. we'll do just a 12-team Superflex PPR. No tight end premium here. So make sure I got all these in order. It's a linear draft, minute and a half on the clock, rookies only. And let's start this bad boy up. So there we go. As we got the 101, of course, is Ashton Jeanty. By the way, Ashton Jeanty going to the Bears in this mock draft. And I don't think it's talked about enough of that happening, because we just talked about it in at the beginning of the show. Like, Ashton Jeanty, you think about the Bears offense, like, what are they lacking? They have a quarterback, they have at least 2 wide receivers, they have a good tight end in Cole Kmet. They just brought in 2 guards for their offensive line, so they're filling out their offensive line. Maybe they add one more piece there or something. That's when you should be taking running backs high. That's when you should be paying running backs a bunch of money, is when it's kind of the last piece. It's the last infinity stone in the gauntlet type of thing, right? Where I think I said that right. I'm not a big Avengers Marvel fan, but that last piece to the puzzle, right? Like, everyone talks about, the Giants letting go of Saquon. They're a bunch of idiots. Like, the Giants weren't ready for Saquon. What are they going to do? Win 4 games with Saquon on their team? Like, they had so much more that they needed. So I could see Jeanty going to the Bears. I absolutely could, especially Ben Johnson coming from the Lions. As we see Ted McMillan, Travion Henderson, who goes to the Chiefs in the 3rd round, and then Cam Ward off the board. Ted McMillan, of course. I'll go ahead and take Matthew Golden here for Team 6. Again, gone are the days where you can get Matthew Golden in the 2nd round, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes. We'll go ahead and take Shedeur Sanders and Tyler Warren. By the way, Tyler Warren went 8th overall in a tight end premium league. So is he kind of just locked into this 8th overall pick? Is that where Tyler Warren just should be, right? He's just kind of locked into that 8th overall pick. Interesting. I think he's one of the few potential blue chip prospects in this draft class. So I could see him going as high as now Jacksonville, 5th overall. I would not be shocked if Warren was taken by the Jags. I think it's 5th, right? The Jags have. We see Caleb Johnson off the board here. Caleb Johnson goes to the Cowboys in the 3rd round. I'm going to go ahead and take Quinshon Judkins here, who goes to the Broncos in the 2nd round, which I love. Let's go Colston Loveland, who is also a Bronco, so back-to-back Broncos here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make Jackson Dart a 1st round pick. No, you know what? I never draft Travis Hunter. Let's see how it looks if Travis Hunter goes 1st round. I'll take Travis Hunter and hope that he plays wide receiver. I hope. Will he? We don't know, but I hope he does. But yeah, let me know about any free agency predictions that you guys have. We see Luther Burden go off the board. Luther Burden to the Giants is interesting, like how him and Malik Neighbors will play together. I think they'll do well. I think I think that's a solid pickup for them, because I think they both can play inside and outside. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So kind of an interesting spot there. As we see Jackson Dart, Emeka Egbuka, who's falling to the 2nd round because he goes 2nd round to the Bears. So obviously you're just betting on talent there. It's not the most ideal situation, but you can still see 3 guys, succeed in that offense for the Bears. 3 receivers, that is. Just one of them is going to have to be through touchdowns, right? One of them is going to have to be through touchdowns. As we see Ollie Gordon go a lot early. I got him in the 3rd round in the last draft. And in this draft, Ollie Gordon's going 5th pick of the 2nd round. Which, again, he goes to the Steelers. He goes in the 4th round. It's really hard to, ignore that. So let's go ahead and take Jalen Knoll with the assumption that that DK Metcalf is not there. So we'll go ahead and take Jalen Knoll, who gets top 50 draft capital here. I'm going to take DJ Giddens, so I don't think should be going that late as he gets drafted by the Chargers. It's in the 4th round, but he still gets drafted by the Chargers, who, again, they don't have any running backs on their team, really. And then we'll go with Alec Iomanner. Go with Alec Iomanner here. So, but yeah, appreciate everyone stopping in and drafting with us. Once again, if you want to join our Discord, you should. We have trade questions that happen in there. We have team reviews. If you want to get your team reviewed, there's a channel there that you can message and we'll get your team reviewed. What dynasty team, redraft team, doesn't matter. We're putting together real money leagues. We already have 2 real money leagues filled. We're going to be doing those drafts live on the show. We're going to be doing them live on the show this month, most likely in March. And so if you want to get into the 3rd one, which we don't have anyone on the list yet, we can start building that up. I assume over the course of the off season, we'll probably be able to fill up a 3rd one. So, but good to get in there now and join our real money leagues. If you want to play in some leagues against me, my brother, father, other listeners of the league, that will be a lot of fun. And look out for those live drafts that will be happening this month in March. Is I'm going to go Jalen Milroe here. Iomanner's off the board. Yeah, we'll go Mason Taylor. Why not? Mason Taylor goes to the Chargers. They only have, I think, Will Dissly on the roster right now at the tight end position, so they definitely need a tight end. Trey Harris is already off the board. I'm not a big Isaiah Bond fan. I like the landing spot, with the Commanders, and I do think he has potential if he kind of puts it all together, right? He puts it all together. He definitely has potential to be the guy, but was a little bit, I thought he was going to run a bit faster, but he gets good draft capital. Obviously, the Commanders still believe in him if they're taking him 61st overall. I think you got Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel there. I think it's very realistic that the Commanders do take a wide receiver to kind of prepare for the future a little bit. So I kind of like those 3 players together: Deebo, Terry McLaurin, and Isaiah Bond. So I think that's a pretty interesting trio of wide receivers there. As we see Devin Neal off the board, who, by the way, falls in this draft. Devin Neal does. He falls to the Titans all the way in the 7th round. So I know a lot of people love Devin Neal. I think I'm a little bit lower than consensus on Devin Neal, but I think he's just a good running back. I don't think he's spectacular in any particular area. I just think he's a really good all-around running back. Jalen Royals, I think, is my wide receiver 5. I always forget about him a little bit. He goes to the Raiders, 68th overall. I like Jalen Royals a lot. I think he's very talented. And Dylan Sampson, I'm a big fan of, so Sniper gets a good one there. Dylan Sampson fell in this draft a little bit, right? He goes to the Packers, which isn't a great spot, but round 5, so you can see why he would fall potentially because, at best he's going to be the RB2 there. Cam Scatterbo is a great pick, by the way. Geez, I can't believe we missed on that one. Cam Scatterbo, Combustibles. Nice pick. That was definitely a miss on my part. I should have taken him 212 at least, maybe at the 210. He goes 3rd round to the Browns. That's a great pick. That is a great pick. So, yeah, hard to need to make a list of guys here that make sure not to miss these guys. Yeah, that's a nice pick there, Combustibles. See Terrence Ferguson off the board, going to the Seahawks. We'll go ahead and take a couple of players here. Did Jaden Higgins go already? I think he did, right? Yeah, he did. We'll go ahead and take Harold Fannin Jr. Still think he could be something, even though I think we're a little bit lower than what we were on than previously or earlier in the year. Patriots don't take a receiver in this draft until Torrey Horton, which I think is interesting. Probably means they bring someone in free agency or multiple guys, but I'll go ahead and grab Torrey Horton. They don't draft anyone, so and then I'll take my guy Savion Williams. I love Savion Williams. I think he's a great player. He's got to be used right. Just got to be used right. So as we are coming near the end of the third round, we're probably going to be live again Tuesday. We'll let a couple of days of free agency pass and go live again Tuesday. Kind of talk about that, how that affects. Oh my gosh, DK Metcalf was traded to the Steelers. Well, damn. Metcalf is a Steeler, guys. Yeah, out of rhythm. And I should have brought you on out of rhythm. My father was here and then he left halfway through, but DK Metcalf is a Steeler. Wow. Wow. That's interesting because like they don't even have a quarterback. I think yeah, we saw the Davante Adams 2-year deal, Aaron Jones signing, which I think it's great for Aaron Jones. Wow, DK Metcalf. I need to think about this and what this means. Yeah, we should have. We'll set something up for sure. Man, well, I mean, I'm a big. Yeah, I saw the Josh Allen news too, which was like the least craziest news, I guess, today. So DK Metcalf is a Steeler, guys. How are we thinking about that? For those of you watching, I think that puts him ahead of Pickens, definitely. DK Metcalf to me was kind of like a buy low target in Dynasty, just because I feel like I know what he's been the last few years. It's been like a wide receiver, a low end wide receiver 2 per game, but he's finished higher just because he usually doesn't miss time. And but I still think he has that potential if he gets on the right team with the right quarterback to be like a top 12 guy. I just don't know if the Steelers are that team. I don't know if the Steelers are that team. They don't even have a quarterback right now. Do they have who's the quarterback on the roster? Right? They don't even have a quarterback on the roster right now. I mean, I know they do, but who do they have on the roster? They gave up a 2. Just a second round, Paul? Just a second round there? Interesting. I know they wanted what, a first and a third? Is that what they wanted? I've lost track of who's going where and what's going where. And I'm going to take Elijah Arroyo here. Go ahead and grab Elijah Arroyo and what running backs are out there. Yeah, let's take my guy RJ Harvey. So, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, sounds like they want it to be Fields or Russell Wilson, like one of those two. I thought I remember them saying like Russell Wilson was kind of not in their plans. So, but man, I think that's really interesting. What is the Steelers' plan though? They have to be. I think it's a great pickup for the Steelers. Like DK Metcalf to me, it feels almost a little like, can he have? I know it's different situations and stuff like that, but like when Stephon Diggs went to the Bills and kind of really took off. Now, the reason Stephon Diggs wasn't, what he was with the Bills was a couple things. Adam Thielen was there, and Adam Thielen was a legitimate receiver there in the late 2010s, early 2020s. But like, he's still young. He's only 27. He'll be 27 until Pete. How much money did he get, Pete? How much did he get? He'll be 27 until December, right? He'll be 27 till December, I believe. So he's still relatively young. It's just like usually you have your quarterback in place and then you bring in. He got 5. DK Metcalf got 5 years, $50 million. Holy crap! I'm gonna throw this on auto pick and just kind of let the auto picks happen here. I kind of lost my way once the Metcalf trade came through and stuff. So I'm just gonna let some auto picks go through here. 5 years, $150 million. Dang. Dang. I want to see. He will sign 150 million. That's kind of crazy, man. That is crazy. The Steelers have to have a plan for a quarterback then. If like they're paying a receiver 5 years, 150 million, or else they're just making kind of what is. I don't understand the move if they don't have a plan at quarterback. I really don't understand the move. Like, why pay a receiver? That's the type of money you pay when you're ready to compete next year. You have the quarterback in place. You have the team in place. Which, again, if they have a quarterback, they kind of have the team in place a little bit, right? Like they still have a good defense, in my opinion. Now you have Metcalf and Pickens. You got Fryermuth there. They don't have a running back yet, but they got to figure out their running back situation. I'm sure they bring back Jalen Warren, who's a restricted free agent. Like, you have pieces there, and that's why they win 9, 10 games every year without a quarterback. But what's their plan? Like, is it a free agent? Is it in the draft? Like, I don't really know. That's really interesting to me. That's really interesting. How are you guys feeling about Pickens now? How are you guys feeling about George Pickens? I've never been the biggest George Pickens guy. And I think this kind of they're similar players, I would say, in terms of how they produce. Not in terms of like their build or anything, but just in terms of how they produce. Is obviously they're guys. They're a little bit, they're not target hogs, Metcalf or Pickens. They kind of stretch the field and stuff. Obviously, I think Metcalf's a better player and more of a touchdown threat. I don't know. You get a guy that can work over the middle. Yeah, they have cap space. Yeah, I'm curious to see the details of that contract. Um, like if they can get out of it after a couple years. But again, he's still only 20. Like, he'll be 27 this year. He turns 28 in December, so this is his year 27 season. So like, even in 5 years, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Like, we see and most people don't finish their contract anyways, but we see receivers play into their early 30s all the time. So, yeah. Pickens first year I liked him. Now I'd get off of Pickens. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get off of Pickens now. I think people are already a little bit low on Pickens, and now with the Metcalf signing, like, I don't know how you're gonna get off of him at all. Like, I think people are just not very excited. I think people like Pickens, they just don't like the situation he's in. He's keep trade cut wide receiver 30, which makes sense. Yeah. Don't think it'll be crazy if they can't re-sign Fields to say that they'll try and get Shador, especially all the reports of him falling are real. Yeah. Where would he have to fall, Shador Sanders, to like for the Steelers to be able to trade up and get him? Does he have to fall out of the top 10 and now he's in range? Moving from 21 into the top 10, I'm not an expert when it comes to like the value of picks in the draft. I know there's like charts out there and stuff in terms of the number 5 pick is worth this and stuff. I mean, where does Shador Sanders have to fall for them to realistically? Because I don't think he's falling to 21. Like, I would imagine, like, there's just so many teams. Obviously, Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, Raiders. You can argue like they could do a Falcons type of move and still take a quarterback, even though they just traded for Geno. The Jets need a quarterback. The Saints need a quarterback. The 49ers, sneaky. I mean, I know they're probably going to pay Purdy, but if that Purdy stuff, if they don't want to pay Purdy $50 million a year and they don't have him under contract and they're sitting there at 11, Shador Sanders would fit San Francisco's system like perfectly, in my opinion, because it's all about accuracy and timing. And I think that's a sneaky, like, just keep an eye on that if they don't sign Purdy. Indianapolis, you can make an argument, could take a quarterback if they don't believe in Richardson. Like, Seattle at 18, like, they would have to trade up, the Steelers, I guess, is the point, right? I guess the point is there, right? Like, but I'm just wondering, like, where does Shador Sanders have to fall for them to be able to trade up, be in that range of trading up? I'm sorry if my internet's being a little choppy here, but Roman Wilson is going to be involved in the offense. I hope. Yeah, yeah, he was a rookie, but I mean, he got didn't he start off the year injured, and then he had like a hamstring, sprained ankle, hamstring stuff in training camp, and then yeah, just didn't do anything. I don't even think he caught a pass this year. I liked Roman Wilson though, coming out of Michigan. So I mean, you think about it, like if you have Metcalf, you have Pickens, you have Fryermuth and potentially Roman Wilson over the middle. That's pretty damn good. Like four in terms of tight end and receivers. Like that's a pretty damn good quad right there of guys. So yeah, that's interesting. If the Jets get Fields, I just don't know who's taking a quarterback in the first 15 after the Titans, Giants. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that. I know I'm probably on a little bit of a lag there, but um, again, I wouldn't be surprised the Saints take a quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco takes a quarterback if they don't have Purdy under contract and signed long term. Indianapolis, Seattle. So there's some guys, and then I mean, I don't think anyone else really needs a quarterback. I mean, the Rams. Do the Rams like get excited if like a Shador Sanders starts to fall and they try and trade up into the teams to take them? That would basically be it, right? Yeah, that would be it. So, how would you rate the concern on Puka Nakua's dynasty now on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm pretty low. 10 being the most concerned. I would say like a 2 for Puka, a 1 maybe. Like, just think about Cooper. I don't think people realize this. I'm going to show you guys actually. With Cooper Kupp last year, I know everyone remembers his fantasy playoffs were like horrendous. Like they literally lost you. They lost you your championship. But Cooper Kupp last year, until from weeks 1 to 14, in points per game, was the wide receiver 4 in PPR in points per game. Now, obviously, he missed 4 games, but when he played, just look at what he did: 32, 7.7, 16.1, 21.4, 15, 28.6, 20, 14.7, and then 20.2. He was literally the wide receiver 4 points per game. And look what Puka was doing right along with him: 18, 18.8, 25.3, 20.7. So Stafford's one of those quarterbacks. The Rams seem to be one of those offenses where it's just these are our 2 guys, and we're going to hyper target these 2 guys. So I'm not too worried about Puka Nacua. Because again, like look how good Cooper Kupp was during that stretch. So yeah, I don't think I'm too worried about Puka. So I think Adams will be good. It's probably better, honestly, for Puka to have someone else there, just to at least the defense has to respect. Like you can't go in there with just two. I'm a big Jordan Whittington guy, but you got to be realistic. Of like you can't just go in there with Tutu Atwell and Jordan Whittington as like your 2 and 3. Like you got to be, if you have Super Bowl aspirations, So yeah, I'm not too worried about Puka at all. Trade for Joe Milton. You know what that would remind me of? Matt Flynn. If you remember Matt Flynn, the Packers backup quarterback for Aaron Rodgers, right? Not Brett Favre, for Aaron Rodgers. And he played in a week 17 game. At that time, it was week 17. He played in a week 17 game with the Packers because they locked up the number 1 seed, I believe, that year. And he threw 6 touchdowns. So, but it was a week 17 meaningless game for the Packers, at least. They were playing the Lions. So Lions at that time, they could have been good, could have been bad. They were always up and down with Stafford. But then he gets paid, Matt Flynn. Flynn gets paid a bunch of money. And I'm going to show you guys this a little bit here. I'm sorry again if my internet. It looks like I'm having a bad connection a little bit, so hopefully it's not too bad. But this is Matt Flynn in 2011. So I think 2011 was the year that the Packers were a legitimate number one. Yeah, they were 15-1 that year, so they had it all locked up. Matt Flynn comes in, goes 31 of 44, throws 6 touchdowns, 480 yards. They're playing the Lions. Lions that year were 10-6. They might have been locked up into a playoff spot as well there because they lost that game and still made the playoffs. So they probably were locked up at 10-5. Anyway, so week 17 game, Matt Flynn goes off, and then Matt Flynn contract. His Matt Flynn's contract, he signs like a big one with the Seahawks. Yeah, it was a $26 million deal, which was pretty big back in 2011. So that's what Joe Milton feels like a little bit to me, like a week 18, week 17 warrior. I don't think Joe Milton's going to be much. Personally, I mean, you can tell me, you know, out of rhythm, you guys follow college a little bit closer. I don't think Joe Milton. I know he has a big arm and he runs, and people are going to love that. But I don't know if he can play the quarterback position. Definitely hold on to Sam Howell shares and sneaky Jaron Hall. Jaron Hall is a Seahawk. So Jaron Hall, if you remember, was the 5th round pick by the Vikings a couple years ago out of BYU. So who knows? Who knows with Jaron Hall there? Steelers should make a run for Darnold. They absolutely should make a run for someone like Darnold. Absolutely should. Yeah, absolutely. I think they should make a run for Darnold. Whittington, I'd hold on to him. He should be involved. Yeah, I was talking about Jordan Whittington shortly after the draft back in May of last year, saying like, go out and get this guy. And you know, I think it was kind of a hit because this was a little bit of a deeper call here. But you know, he was relevant for a second, there. So, but yeah, man, it's going to be exciting the next couple of days. So we're probably going to go live again Tuesday. Maybe give it a day, unless things are crazy tomorrow with signings or trades and all that. Like maybe we'll go live tomorrow. Maybe we'll give it a couple days and see what happens. But appreciate everyone for stopping in and mocking with us, and then talking, you know, the Metcalf news and all that. So really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the Discord. See you guys in the live stream and in the videos coming out. So appreciate you all. Good luck. Have a great rest of your Sunday. See you all very soon.